Our YouTube. Our. Well, you know what? I was supposed to have a bunch of people showing up to this tonight, and none of them have shown up right now. So I kind of went online just because I told viewers I was going to be online. Whether or not I stay online with nobody here is another question. If there are any viewers that end up showing up, if you want to ask questions, you can go ahead. This could be a very big Q&A for you, because the stuff I had to talk about, I can't do it with just myself. Yeah. This is the only problem with the Google Hangouts, right? Is trying to get everybody to show up when they say they're going to show up. It does become a slight problem. But hey, it is what it is. And that's the way it is. Actually, Dullahan, when the guys get here, one of the people that's going to be with them is the Boo. The Booberry will be here shortly. And I did send you an invite, so if you want to jump in, you should be able to. I'll check the emails again in a second. I guess since nobody's here right now except for me and Greg, I will just ramble on. So today I went to Brimstone Brewing Company in Ridgeway, and we did our plans for the beer festival next year. Going to be a much bigger space we're going to be using next year, which is going to actually make it cost a little bit more for the consumer, unfortunately. Our drink tickets will go up in price too. They won't be as cheap as they were, but what we're going to try and do is get all specialty beers brought. So you're going to look at a slightly more expensive drink ticket. And I say slightly because it went up 50 cents. But what we're going to do is be all seasonals and all one-offs and such. So it's going to make it into a more special beer festival. Again, we're going to have an outdoor portion. So it's the entry fee had to go up a little bit as well to pay for fencing and to pay for porta potties. And do you know how much a porta potty costs? That's a fucking expensive venture. What are you doing with this? Oh, we just fill it up with some blue chemical and so that it doesn't stink, and we put it on your property for a day, and then we pick it up and we go away. Like it's just weird to think about how much money they make on porta potties. It's a porta fucking potty, guy. It's a porta potty. All you do is you piss and shit in it, they take it away, and they dump it down the sewer system. How does it cost like $100 a porta potty for a day? How? It doesn't. It baffles me. And because of how many people I'm going to have, I'm going to need about 7 of them. I'm going to be paying $700 in porta potties for a beer festival. Then fencing, I'm going to be looking at about $700 in fencing, at least, because it's going to be like a 300-foot fence. It's going to be, well, no, not even, like a 700-foot fence. Now that I'm thinking about the dimensions, my SOP, my insurance. The security guards. Now that it's outdoors, I'm actually going to need security, and that's going to cost a pretty penny too. And I'm not looking forward to any of that. I'm not. Beer festivals are a great time. They're great to do, but they just cost so much money and take so much time to organize. Like I said, I was there. We spent an hour going over a slight map of what we wanted to do, what we thought the BIA, the Business Bureau would, the Business Association for Downtown Ridgeway would let us do, what we thought the town would let us do, what we would need, prices that we were looking at, companies we were going to talk to about things, just so much things. Again, it's like 8 months away, and you think that's a long time, but you really need to start planning these things like a year and a half in advance. You need to have your plans for the next year started when your festival ends. And I just let it go because I wasn't sure if I was going to do one or not. I wasn't sure if I was going to do a second one because of the amount of work that the first one took. But enough breweries and enough people that went harassed me to do another one. So we'll try it. We'll try it again and see how it goes. Hopefully it's better than the first. Who knows? Yeah. Other than that, again, sorry guys. I've been waiting for people I had the window open for like 15 minutes waiting for the people that said that they were going to come to join me, and none of them did. So since so many of you know that it was supposed to be tonight, I had to go on anyway. Once the guys get here, we can at least ask them the same questions that we were going to ask the other participants. Oh, if you guys remember, I talked last night about the 1,300 cases of beer that went missing in around London, Ontario, the truck that got stolen, with the 600 cases of Sol, 576 cases of Dos Equis Lager, and 144 cases of Dos Equis Amber. Or wait, wasn't that backwards? Yeah. No, it wasn't backwards. It was the lager that there was a bunch of. Yeah, so that truck went missing, and I was alluding to where I thought the truck was. I guess I was wrong, because they have recovered the truck. They've recovered some of the beer. They won't say how much of the beer, but some of the beer has been recovered. And they have 3 suspects in custody. So, yeah, they found the truck. If you're going to steal a giant fucking big rig of beer, dump the truck. Dump the truck and dump the trailer. Why would you keep them both? Why would you keep them anywhere the cops could find them and pin it to you? Why? That just doesn't make sense to me either. If you're going to steal this beer, and stealing beer, like stealing a truck of beer, the funny thing with it is it's probably the best thing to steal, because you won't get tracked if you sell the beer to the right people, which is your friends and stuff. People you know. Hey, you want to buy a case of beer? Not even people you know, but it's easy to move a case of beer. It's not like you stole a car and you're trying to move a car. It's easy to move a case of beer. But who gets caught with the tractor trailer still? Like, who? Seriously. People boggle my mind at times. I mean, it's insane. It says there's 5 of you here. Why don't you guys ask something you want to know while we continue to wait to see if anyone shows up? I know the punter, the cartoon, and the blueberry are coming here, but the people that I thought were going to join me obviously aren't. For the people watching right now, what's your favorite beer of all time and your favorite beer style of all time? Why is it your favorite beer style of all time? For me, my favorite beer styles are, well, they're fairly total opposites when you think about it. I mean, I love me a nice imperial stout. Porters and stouts are what I go after the most, because I love that chocolate flavoring. I love the vanilla. I love the caramel. I love the toffee. I love even the proper coffee bitterness in them. I love the big, bold, full mouthfeel and flavor. And then the other style I really love is wild ales, lambics. I love that shit. And why? I don't know. I just love a nice sour fruit beer. It's just nice, light. It's weird, because that's what I go from, like, the black blood of the earth to light and crisp. And those are really my 2 favorite styles, and I always go after them, really. Favorite beer of all time? See, and I put that out there because we always talk about our favorite beer, and I always say Innocent Gun Original is the one that I go to all the time. It's, well, not go to all the time, but it's my go-to. It's the one I have in the fridge all the time so that I can always drink it. But the one that tasted the best tasting beers I've ever had, like, oh my God, I love the taste of this, but for one reason or another, it might not be the best for me for different things. Orange Mungus from Flying Monkeys, fucking 4% alcohol with pulp in it. It's a rattler, but it just tastes like orange juice. That's it, just orange juice, straight up orange juice, and it's amazing. Other than that, you know what? I loved Bring Out Your Dead by Bellwoods. Bring Out Your Dead by Bellwoods. It had all the stout characteristics you'd want, but it was barrel aged in cognac barrels, so it brought out some nice fruity notes that you wouldn't get from a bourbon barrel. And the stout already had the vanilla and everything else that you would get from a bourbon barrel anyway. But to add in the almost winey characteristics that you get from a fucking cognac barrel was awesome. Another good one here in Ontario, Nickelbrook's Whiny Bastard. I love that beer. Love it. I have 2 bottles left. I wish I had more, but it's too expensive for me to buy often. Going over to the U.S., Parabola The Firestone Walker 16, I believe it was the one that, no, was it the 17 that we had with Joe? We had one with Joe and one with Paul, and the one that I had with Paul wasn't as good as the one Joe brought. But the Parabola was amazing. Again, just a deep, dark bourbon barrel aged stout. Awesome beer. Sukaba, double DBA. Both, again, from Firestone Walker. Weyerbacher actually makes some really nice little beers that I love. But I think my favorite beers from the U.S. basically are coming from Firestone Walker. Going across the pond, if you go over to England and Scotland, well, Scotland, it's going to be the Innocent Gun Irish whiskey cask would be my favorite Scottish beer that I've had. What was the one? Dave, the Urban Viking, sent me a Paradox Isle of Arum and Brewdog, and it was actually a really good beer too. England, I don't even know what my favorite England beer would be. Buxton's Imperial Black is really good. Halcyon from Thornbridge, Japor from Thornbridge, Sheeran from Thornbridge. Thornbridge actually is probably my favorite IPAs that I can get fairly easily and that are coming from across the pond. They're just blasting in your face with flavor, and I love that about them. Buxton's Imperial Black is really, really good as well. Saying a lot of ums because I have no one to talk to. I'm just talking to a screen, guys. Just talking to a screen. In a second here. Okay, so what do we got here? Lee was being a dink. And yeah, he doesn't even want to talk to me tonight. Whatever. Fuck you, Lee. Mr. Blowboys. Is that what it is? Mr. Blobbies. Okay, from the UK, so I don't get many good US and Canadian beers. I do like Shinerbach and good IPAs. Yeah, Shinerbach isn't a bad beer. It's actually very approachable. Not much flavor to it, but very approachable. Then we had Joel O'Sullivan. I'm new to the whole beer culture, but if I'm going to sit down and drink a beer, it has to be Stella Artois. Well, that's fine. I personally disdain Stella Artois, disdain it, but mostly because of the green bottles it comes in over here. It's an acceptable Euro lager. It's drinkable on tap and all that. It's just in the green bottles. I just want to throw it back at the bartender because no bar takes care of their green bottles, and they never rotate them. So say you show up on a Monday night, right? And say you show up on a Wednesday night and it wasn't all that busy for the last 2 nights. So they haven't really restocked their fridges, and you buy a Stella, right? They pull out the green bottle, they pop it, and it's fine because it just got put in the fridge, I don't know, 2 days ago. You're drinking your bottle, and then you order another one. They reach in, they grab the next one, and the next one's been sitting in there for like 2 weeks, pop it, boom, skunk in the face. And who wants that? I mean, I know people do enjoy it. There are people that really do enjoy it, but me, I hate it. I hate it. I hate that. Other than that, when it's fresh or when it's on tap or something like that, yeah, it's an acceptable Euro lager. I want more out of my beer. I do understand why people love the watery, lagery, slight grains like this, like that taste, and I get it because it's not overpowering. It's something that won't kill your palate. It won't just become too sweet or become too bitter or become anything like that. It won't build up. It's just there. It's easy drinking. I understand that, but I just want more. I've lived drinking beer like that for too long, and once I started drinking stuff that wasn't like that, I just didn't want it anymore. It wasn't something I cared for. Um, it is what it is, though, right? It is what it is. And I'm sorry, Lee. I'm no expert. Never will be. I'm an evil, evil little man. That's all. Just an evil, evil little man. Yeah, I only did 2 shows this week, Lee, because I had people that wanted to come in and just do a question answer thing. They wanted to do the quick throw off questions. Are you a hophead or a malt maniac or a yeast beast? Those type of questions. They all said that they wanted to come on and do it. And then I went online and nobody showed up. Not one of them. I've never had Old Peculiar, Greg. Never had it. I hear so much about Old Peculiar, but I've never had it. If it's just a drinking beer from the UK, just sit down and drink my face off with it beer. I'm usually after, say, a Witchwood's Hobgoblin or something. What other? Actually, Box Steam's Funnel Blower just showed up again here this season, and I bought a bunch of bottles of that because I do enjoy sitting back and drinking that nice little vanilla porter. If we kept moving on, I stopped in the UK. Other countries' best beers would drop down to Australia. I've never had anything but Foster's and Victoria. So if those two, I have to go Victoria because it's the only one that was actually brewed in Australia. New Zealand, on the other hand, I've had a bunch of stuff. I've had Stein Lager. I've had for their adjunct lager, and then I've had a bunch of stuff from. What was the Renaissance? Is the one brewery. And what's the other one? The other one does the I Stout. I can't even remember it. But who cares about that brewery? Their stuff's too expensive. Renaissance is Enlightenment series, the Age of Raisin. Really good beer. I hated their barley wine. Hated it. Disdained it to whole hell. They had an IPA that wasn't horrible, but the Age of Reason is probably my top beer from them. They're actually a nice little brewery, though. They really are. They did do a chocolate oatmeal stout, but that bottle was slightly infected. I opened it; it blew up. It was interesting. China has a bunch of beers, but who really wants any of them, right? I don't even know if they have a craft beer scene or if it's all just adjunct lager. But I've had Pearl River, I've had Tsingtao, I've had what's the other ones? Beijing. There's so many of them. I'm just Lucky Buddha. What was the one that hit here just for the Olympics when the Olympics were in China? There was one that came here just for the Olympics. Of all the Chinese beers I've had, though, look, it's Gisuf.
I thought you did the hangout yesterday.
I did do a hangout yesterday.
What are you doing today?
Apparently a hangout.
I would put my pants on then.
Well, you didn't have to put your pants on.
Like, I can. I just got home, like, literally.
I'm actually waiting for Simon the cartoon and the Booberry.
All right, I'll be right back then.
Okay, you don't want to see don't want Booberry to see you without your pants?
Whatever. I don't care.
I'm telling your girlfriend you're flashing the internet.
That's what I do.
But yeah, so my favorite out of China would probably be the Lucky Buddha for sure. What other kind? Oh, Russia. You could go to Russia. Baltica 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15. Those and Oko something or other were the only two I've ever had there. So I'd have to go with the Balticas, probably 7, just the lager. And yeah, you're right, Lee. What a bunch of fucking assholes. Italy. Italy actually has some interesting beers. The IBA. The IBA would be mine. It's the IBA IPA. So the IBA is Italian beer, something artisanal. It's a craft brewery from there, and they make a beautiful IPA. There is also Pinil. Pinil Barriqua is a beautiful sour from Pinil, and they have Pinil enhanced, but the Barriqua is the way to go if you're going with those. It's funny because you start thinking about it, and there's good beer from every single country in the world. It's just whether or not you can get your hands on it. Um, Namibia, they make the Windhoek stuff. That's actually an easy drinking lager. That's probably the easiest drinking lager I've ever had. I could have done the whole 6 pack in a few minutes, well, a few seconds even. It just flies down your throat. Kenya makes is it Kenya? Oh yeah, it is. It's Kenya makes the Tusker. Tusker is actually a nice little beer. Poland, all I've had from Poland is Polish lagers. That's what Poland's known for, making their just easy drinking lagers. Zuber's probably the best I've had. It's just beer. Tatra, Zuber, Tiski's okay. Lewicz. I can't even fucking pronounce any of this fucking Polish shit. Hell, who am I joking? I can't pronounce any of the fucking French shit or anything. Okay, so Joe Sin, right now I'm working on a New Holland Dragon's Milk, a damn fine Imperial Stout, if I do say so myself. My favorite is probably stouts and IPAs. Boring, I know. Well, you know what? I love stouts myself, so I can get behind that. I've never had the Dragon's Milk. I don't think I've had anything from New Holland. Come to think of it, I may have had 1 or 2 beers from them over time, but I don't think I have. I think New Holland is a brewery that I haven't had anything from. I keep hearing Dragon's Milk's going to hit the LCBO at some point. Whether or not it does, who knows? But even if it does, it's not going to hit my LCBO, so I don't fucking care. Like, why would I care at that point, right? I'm never going to see it. Favorite beer of all time. I'd have to click this here and open up the video to read because my email does not show me it. And favorite beer of all time. Founder's Breakfast Stout. And Donkey Venom from Bellwood. I'm actually going to get my first Donkey Venom in the next little while. I have a bottle coming my way, so I'm hoping that I enjoy it. I hear so many good things about it that I don't know. See, Bellwoods is a beautiful brewery, and so many things pop out from them. And yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious if I'm gonna like it. I've liked most things from Bellwoods. Some of their IPAs are too much for me personally, but I like it. Scott French, why don't you get a webcam and join us? Yeah. Bellwoods just comes out with so many interesting beers. They make some great beers. Five Paddles makes some amazing beers too. Actually, that's something I have to say is another one of my all-time favorite beers would probably be Five Paddles. A Few of My Favorite Things, which was their vanilla bean, bourbon-soaked vanilla bean chocolate strawberry stout. No, chocolate cherry stout. Or was it raspberry? Oh, I don't even remember. It was raspberry. Yeah, it was an amazing beer, and their chocolate-covered strawberry just tasted like a chocolate-covered strawberry. They come up with some great stuff. They really do. I can't deny what they do. They're not always a hit, but they're very ingenious. And I don't know what he's doing, but I think he's wanking it until. I think he just turned it on so that there was a picture of somebody else in here with it.
do.
Hey, look who it is. It is
Hey,
Gregory.
what's up?
Nothing
I.
at all.
There we go. Hmm.
I didn't know there was an. I don't think there's an S at the end of your name, Greg. So I'm only inviting your other Google Plus thing. I can find a lot of ERSs, but out of those, I can't remember which face would be yours because they're so small. Okay, there's Fuckface. There's Greg.
Fuckface.
He's a dirty Frenchman.
I'm dirty.
Oh, out of curiosity, have you brainstormed anything for a logo?
Yeah, I played around with the Illustrator instead of Photoshop, so maybe I can try to do sketches instead, like a cartoon. Like, I want to try that.
Yeah, we like I said at the beginning of the video, we just figured out our date. We figured out our layout, what we want to do. So we're moving on from there.
The date's the same one I suggested, or?
It's the 2nd of May.
I think so. That's the one I gave you.
Ugh. So let's do this, guys. And we'll go Greg Yee whenever we're answering.
Greg.
You a hophead, malt maniac, or a yeast beast? For me, it's a malt maniac.
Hophead.
Yee's already lost how the game plays.
Game what?
He's defending.
Yee, are you a hophead, malt maniac, or yeast beast?
Take a lucky guess.
I think because now you have a girlfriend that you're a yeast beast.
I'm a hophead, but I do love a good amount of malt in my IPAs as well. But
Alrighty. Favorite style of beer? Greg.
Anything in the IPA family, pale ale, IPA, or particularly like double IPAs when they're done properly.
Chad, you have to specify which Greg you're talking to.
Oh,
Greg
yeah.
number 2 now.
Which one is that?
I got the number 1.
Ah, Dan. Go ahead.
Favorite beer style? It's making us Irish
Greg.
so bad.
I
That's
think
you.
I think he's talking to the other Greg.
Greg
Oh,
2.
I would have to. I'm going to be very Irish and say stouts.
Awesome.
Stouts or porters, yeah, it has to be. Has to be for me. It's kind of why I like the Teakston Old Peculiar so much. I know it's technically I think it's technically a red ale, but to me, when I'm drinking it, it's also very like a porter in both look and taste.
Good to hear.
That's why
I really need to try it. I get talked about it so much. I think I can pick it up in the U.S.
Well, Chad, I'll be honest. It's not what you would call your maybe upper tier beer, but say of your normal run-of-the-mill beers, it's one of the better ones out there. But it's also quite expensive over here.
Which would make it even more expensive in the U.S.
Well, over here it's about, I know this mightn't sound too much to you, but it's about we'll say about €3. I would say it's about $5 for a 500ml bottle of it. Now, that mightn't sound like a lot to you, but over here that's quite expensive.
Yeah, that's actually lower than usual over here.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got some scary beer prices over here. There's no point in asking Guy what his favourite beer is because we all know Frenchmen can't drink.
I'm French Canadian, that's different.
Favorite beer style, Guy?
It's tight. So summer
John.
IPA and winter stout.
Stout, yeah.
Okay.
Can I do this now?
Least favorite beer style for me, the easy answer is the American Adjunct Lager. We're going to say you can't say that. You're going to have to be able to say something else. So I'd go to Pilsners and Kolsch's myself.
Out. I would tend to agree with you there, Chad. Funnily enough, there are one or two Pilsners or Lagers on the cheaper end that aren't that bad.
Oh, I'm not saying they're bad. I just don't care to drink them all that much.
Oh no, they wouldn't. But I mean, if you were stuck, you wouldn't mind drinking them at the same time.
No.
All I'm saying. Yeah.
For yourself, Greg number 1.
What's that, beer style?
Oh, you're Greg number 2.
I'm Greg. I keep forgetting it. Sorry.
No, I don't really have any I hate, but I'm not a big fan of saisons. I'm not a huge fan of sours unless they're done well. Like, for instance, that Donkey Venom was done amazing, and you're able to all of that. For the most part, stuff like Oktoberfests, don't find it all that exciting.
He says there's way too many Gregs.
There are too many. Oh, not.
It's easy to confuse a bald guy from Nova Scotia.
It's also easy to confuse a guy from Ireland.
That's true too. For me, it would have to be least favorite. Would have to be the uber hoppy IPAs. I love IPAs, but not these ones that have so much hops in it that's all you can taste.
Understandable.
Not that I hate hops.
No, I'm right there with you, man. There is some IPAs that are just way too hoppy for me, and I like hops. It's just it really matters what hops are used in it too. I mean, there are hops that I just completely and utterly hate, and there's hops that you could make the thing so bitter it makes my head explode, as long as it's done with that hop.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, I was watching the Beer Dweebs Unite last night, and the thought occurred to me that you were on about craft beer in general. I can't remember what the particular topic was, but it occurred to me that when you're talking about craft beer these days, or we'll say in the last couple of years, I think there's a big trend that with a lot of breweries, it's all hops. I mean, you have to put a truckload of hops into each bottle, but they're not taking care of the rest of the beer.
Yeah, they're not balancing it. They're just.
Well, if the rest of the beer is crap, it doesn't matter how much hops you throw at it. It's got to be shite beer. Excuse my French. That's a figure of speech, Guy.
Good enough.
Guy, your least favorite style.
Yeah, Pilsners and Oktoberfest beers, but pills are so horrible. Sometimes it's fun how bad they are. So probably Oktoberfest. Least favorite.
Oh, the Marzens. The boring Marzens.
What don't you like about the Oktoberfest, Guy? Because I had one of those recently, and I didn't think it was too bad, actually.
Probably the ones we get here are the leftovers that people don't want to drink and get them here.
The one I had was an Erdinger. Now, it was nothing special, but it wasn't bad at the same time. As I said, it was
we get for the German ones that we'll get over here, it's like Polliner, maybe Schneider, maybe like Polliner, Schneider, the Hofbrau. Yep.
That's basically the same as what we get over here. Mostly it's Polliner and Erdinger, actually, we get over here.
Yeah, see, I've never seen the Erdinger Oktoberfest.
No.
Well, actually, out of all of them that I've had over here, the Erdinger seems to be the best and the most consistent. Now, that's not saying that they're good, but what we can get over here, they definitely seem to be the most consistent flavor-wise, anyway.
Okay, what's another question I always ask brewers? Okay, you guys can drink 3 beers for the rest of your life, and we're going to change it a little bit from the way it usually is. You have to choose a beer from your home country, a different country, and then a macro brew. And we'll start with Guy this time.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I changed microphones. Didn't hear, what was it?
The question is, you can only drink 3 beers for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
It's going to be one from your country, so Canada, Ireland, one from another country, and then one macro brew.
So here for my country craft beer, we pot hole filler from Howie Sound, and from another country, I don't know, probably all day IPA from who makes that?
That's Founders.
No, it's Best Before.
Best before, that's Stone.
Yeah, Stone Best Before. That's from U.S. And what's the other one? Macro.
Yeah.
Guinness would be too safe an answer, I think.
Yep, it is. It's way too safe. I'm going to have to veto Guinness as an answer because that would be my answer, and I'm sure everybody else's.
Ah, damn.
Well, if I really want to get shit faced, I guess what Molson Triple X.
Yeah, that'll shit face you. Greg 2.0.
I would have to say macro beer for it's going to be lager, it's going to be Molson Canadian. Because we can get that here. That's the one, the white cans with the red maple leaf.
Yep.
Yeah, that one. That's for the macro. From another country, it would have to be 5 a.m. Saint. Either 5 a.m. Saint. No, actually, Teeks to North Peculiar. It would have to be Teeks to North Peculiar. From my own country, then, I would have to say, oh God, I can't even think of the name of it. It's an Irish microbrewery, and it's a porter anyway. The name of it escapes. It's got a scarecrow on the bottle. The name of it escapes me at the moment, but it's a porter. All dark beers, basically. Except
Greg
for that
number
most.
1.
Does it have to be a regularly available beer or just any beer?
Any beer, you go ahead.
Probably Bring Out Your Dead. If I could just have any beer anytime. Either that or 10 bitter years if I want something more regularly available. So that's from my country. From another country, probably the Dragon's Milk from, it's by Founders. No, sorry, that's the New Holland Dragon's Milk. That stuff's pretty good. Like I've told you guys before, for some reason I don't seem to like U.S. IPAs all that much. And a macro, I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to go with Creemore.
Oh, you're going to cheat, are you?
Yeah.
Are you? You're going to cheat? Yeah.
I just thought about Steam Whistle Plus, even though I never had it.
That's not a macro?
No?
No, they're still a microbrewery.
Okay.
A really big micro.
Yeah. They're not at the Sam Adams level yet, though. Yet. They'll never be at the Sam Adams level at that brewery, though. For me, probably Nickelbrook's Whiny Bastard for here. For another country, for another country, oh fuck, I could cheat and say Chente Bystander because he brewed it in another country first, but no,
For macro brew, you could technically say Guinness because that is from another country for you.
No, another country. I'm trying to think if there's something outside. You know what? Actually, Thornbridge's Halcyon. There's so many stouts and everything from the U.S. I could do, but Thornbridge Halcyon, just beautiful, beautiful beer. And another mass-produced lager shit thing. I don't fucking know. Molson X, Old Vienna. Actually, you know what? No, neither of those. Bring back Rickard's Cardigan for me. Lots and lots of Rickard's Cardigan.
You don't want any Boomerang?
Boomerang doesn't exist anymore. I'm pissed off with that. Apparently, that's what one of the Demo brothers or whatever says to me all the time. Is that it doesn't exist anymore. So I gotta find out.
Actually,
I gotta find out.
Molson Canadian and Moosehead are, I think, about the only two Canadian brewed beers that I can get here locally. Funnily enough.
And you like Canadian more than the Moose?
I do.
Are they
Funny
contract brewed over there? Like, would they taste different than the ones here?
I don't actually know that now, Guy. I would imagine they would be contract brewed.
I know that Coors has a brewery in the UK where they make Coors Light and everything, so they might make Molson Canadian there too.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking, that maybe they might actually be brewed under license in the UK and then shipped over to Ireland.
I mean, I'll tell you that I've had Moosehead, U.S. Moosehead, and it did taste different to me than Canadian Moosehead. So.
Yeah, see, everybody thinks I'm crazy when I say they're different.
Oh, they are, definitely, without a doubt.
Sometimes, even if it is brewed in the same place, sometimes if you have to ship it that far, maybe it spoils a bit in a hot truck.
Because I've had, like, even just per macro brews, I've had Heineken that we get here, and I've had Heineken over in Europe, and they're two completely different beers.
Yeah, I've heard Heineken apparently is supposed to be a lot better over in Europe.
Oh, it is massively, yeah. Massively.
I don't think they changed the recipe. I think that's fully a freshness issue. That like what we get,
possibly.
What we get in Canada takes forever to get here. You figure it gets made in the Netherlands, then it has to get shipped out of the Netherlands, go through customs there, get onto a boat, come across on a boat, go through another set of customs, go to a warehouse, move to another warehouse, move to another warehouse, then it's on your shelves.
Wasn't it like Pumpkin is released in the States in June, and we don't get it till September, October?
I don't remember when they released it. I think it was July this year.
Take yourself lucky, we don't even get pumpkin beers over here.
You got the one from Witchwood.
Yeah.
We can't get that one.
I can get that one all right, but I mean real traditional, well, not even traditional, American or Canadian pumpkin beers, can't get them. Just can't get them.
No, there's.
And as far from the few reviews that I've seen of that Witchwood, I think it's more what you were referring to on the Beer Dweebs last night, Chad. I don't think they use real pumpkins in it.
Yeah, it sounds more like the spicy pumpkin thing.
Yeah, I think it's just like additives and adjuncts.
I was at Brimstone today. That's where we were when I was doing the stuff for my beer festival, and they had Bitchy Witch on tap, and Bitchy Witch is their pumpkin ale. So they poured it for me. Right. It was the right color. It was that deep, dark amber color, beautiful, like orangish amber. And I smell it, and it's really spiced. And I look at them and I go, "So, what type of thing did you do?" And he's like, "Well, Rod hates the pumpkin pie-like ones, so he went with the spicy ones." Like, oh, that's the ones I don't like. I drank it, and it was okay. I can't say good. It was okay. It was drinkable. But if there was even a touch more clove in there, I would have had to break the glass and stab somebody.
And you might just do that anyway.
Yeah, no, it was, and I even said it. I'm like, if there was any more clove in here, I'd go over to Rod's house and I'd throw this at him.
Yeah, but do you ever think with the pumpkin beers, from what you've been saying, seem to be typical of this, that with beers like that, they're basically throwing in cloves and spice and cinnamon to cover up stuff, basically.
Yeah, they the pumpkin spices that are normally there: cloves, nutmeg, maybe allspice, cinnamon. That's your main spices, and they'll use those more than anything else. Some of them roast their pumpkin. Some, well, actually, again, other than the Sammy guy from last night, I've never heard of anyone not roasting their pumpkin. So the pumpkin gets roasted, it gets used. A lot of beers, the pumpkin doesn't even come off on the flavor. It's just it just adds to the heftiness of the beer, it adds to the body.
Yeah. Something I'd like to try, actually, just out of curiosity.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good ones, and there's a lot of really bad ones. And like Oktoberfest beers, everybody makes one, and it's sifting through them all to find the ones that aren't horrible.
You know, I've yet to ever try a pumpkin beer that I didn't think was at least passable.
I should get you some Southampton and some Billy Billy Bob's and stuff like that.
I've never tried either of those. I mean, I know you guys didn't quite like the Mill Street one. Again, I thought it was okay, not amazing, but it was okay.
Yeah.
I won't say that in front of Paul, though. I know he had strong feelings about that.
Paul has strong feelings about everything. Today was mouth breathers. That was his rant today.
I have a Mill Street barley wine should be a year old in October.
I have a Mill Street barley wine that should be a year old in October.
There you go.
Hey, so do I.
I actually, and the worst thing is I open up the fridge every day to do a review and I see that stupid porcelain bottle. And I look at it and I go, I really should review that. And then I go, I don't want to, though. And I pick something else out. I actually even have a...
Yeah, go on.
Oh, I have a year-old bottle of Woolly Bugger in the fridge now, too, from Howie Sound. And it's the same thing. I open up the fridge, I look at it, and I pick something else. And I really should get to reviewing it because now it's going to be slightly skewed because it's aged, but at the same time, I just can't bring myself to drinking them.
I tried the 2012 Mill Street Barley Wine Fresh. I didn't like it all that much, so I'm hoping I'll like it more with the thing. I buy it just for the bottle, to be honest, because it's an awesome bottle.
Yeah, I have the 10, 11, 12, and 13 over there. Well, 10, 11, and 12 over there, sorry.
I only got
The 12 the 12 was really good with cheese.
Am I wrong in thinking that barley wine is supposed to be year aged for at least a year before you drink it?
Oh, you're not wrong for thinking that. You can think that if you want.
A lot of the Great Lakes stuff recently, they have a sticker that says "Do not drink before."
Yeah, see that's just kind of copping out. If you want it not if it's not going to be perfect until that time, you hold it yourself until that time. Don't sell it to somebody else and tell them to hold it.
I agree with you on one hand. On the other hand, then you end up with the Muskoka situation where they purposely hold it back and then charge you twice as much for it the next year.
They save you the trouble. You're just paying rent. It's okay.
Yeah, exactly. You're paying for the storage space.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it's like I still have the Beer de Zeus, which I only bought one bottle of, and I'm still hanging on to that until.
That was an amazing beer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I bought two.
Forward to it, but I wish I had bought a couple of them, so I could have tried one by now.
I tried one fresh. It was fucking amazing. I have one aging right now, waiting for a date. It should be good too. It's delicious.
It was very delicious. That fart's gonna be delicious.
I got a couple other bottles of their 2000. I think they label it 2012 barley wine, but although I think it was released actually in 2013, and that one was delicious fresh, so I'm looking forward to it aged. But that was also a lot cheaper. That was like I think $6 a bottle, whereas the Beer de Zeus I think was 12 or something.
I also got that Bush Pilot barley wine aging for 1 year.
Oh, the Bush Pilot one, the Stormy Monday?
Yeah, I got one of those.
I think I have one of those left myself too. I have like 9 bottles of Obsidian Porter left.
I'm tasting my aged Apocalypse Later, which has been aging since April, and it's still good. Would have been better fresh though. It's definitely lost some of the hoppiness.
Have you tried the Dinner Jacket? Was it OIPA?
Oh, yeah, I tried that a long time ago. I did that video. Aaron, the Duchette, dropped off a bottle for me before the beer festival. So I did the video back then. I just haven't posted it. It's just one of the videos that just keeps getting pushed back because I don't really care to post it.
I got it in the can, so it was in the bottle before?
It was a can, sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
It was a can that was dropped off. Yeah, they're a contract brewer, so it's canned. The brewery they brew at only cans, so.
I think
I bought like 8 more.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm not just saying I bought like eight more cans today because I liked it.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad beer. It just wasn't like I find if it's not an exciting beer, it ends up getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back in the queue to upload.
Yeah.
The best reviews are the ones you either love or hate. The ones in the middle, eh. But that was one of those beers I kind of expected to not like, just because it looked kind of like a cheesy can. But I think it was pretty good from what I remember. I have to look back at my notes, but.
And it was a flannel dinner jacket, so it just screamed hipster.
Yeah, kind of.
Or lumberjack.
No, lumberjack just screams hipster now. They've even taken the lumberjack beards over.
I didn't see any tight jeans, so I was like, maybe it's safe.
Or skater shoes, or
Thick glasses without any glass in them. That pisses me off.
just the thick rims.
Yeah.
I hate it the most when there's like this girl that would possibly be cute standing there, and you can almost get over the hipster or scenester outfit. And then she turns around, she has the giant thick glasses. It would be okay if you actually needed glasses, but like you said, she has the giant thick glasses and like no lenses in them. She's like, "Hi." They're like, "Yeah, I want to punch you."
I don't think I've ever seen that before. I must not hang out in hipster area enough.
Oh man, there's so many fun things you can see in all the different scenes. Though I mean, every scene has their own section of hipsterish and everything else. I just don't understand how the beer scene kind of took like dirty and emo and mixed them together.
We only drink PBR anyway.
Well,
I think it's just anything you can find a group of people to become obsessive over. Will get taken over by the hipsters.
everybody's a hipster.
Who else would you invite?
Oh, a bunch of people. I don't even care if they show up. I'm just kind of curious where Simon is now, because he told me 40 minutes ago that he'd be here in half an hour. Sorry, he told me an hour ago he'd be here in half an hour.
Well, since Lee's not here, I'll take over his job, and let's see what kind of amazing comments we have. Oh, Average Joe has his input is booberry, booberry, booberry.
Huh?
I think he might be waiting for booberry. He also has a Stormy Monday aging. Will be interesting to see how it goes.
Why is he in the chat?
You know what? I don't think Joe likes me anymore. He wasn't here yesterday either. He was just commenting from outside.
Well, fuck you, Joe. I'm telling you to come in.
Joe's probably wanking it right now. He can't come in. He's listening to your French accent. And
I'm wanking it right now too. You just can't see below my.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he just puts plexiglass in front of the webcam and it's all good.
Exactly. Also, Lee now knows which Greg he likes better, and I think it's probably the other Greg.
No, I think it might be you, because the other Greg said you can confuse bald guys from Nova Scotia really easily.
Oh, I thought it was he didn't like me because I'm a hophead.
Oh no, he's kind of a hophead himself.
Oh.
Let's see what's in your fridge, Greg.
Not much, actually. I don't. It's kind of empty right now. I gotta go and get some more stuff. I'm kind of trying to finish off all these beers. Like I have a Karma Citra that's a couple months old I want to get to before
Ooh.
tastes like ass.
Wonder that's gonna keep the
And
bitterness.
I have some pumpkin beers, but I'm gonna hold on till October to drink those, just because.
I drank a Warlock a few weeks ago.
Are they available in Ontario yet, or are you getting?
Not yet. No, I got that from Joe.
I've never had a Warlock or Bring Out the Dead.
Like I said last night, Warlock is it was sad this year. It wasn't like it was last year.
Oh,
Last
really?
year it was amazing. This year it tasted like this year it tasted like Pum King from a few years ago. So it was still really good. But after having Warlock last year and then having a beer that now just tastes like the old Pum King, there was a sadness that entered my system.
Well, lucky for me, it'll probably be like the old vanilla porter. You've told me you tried the one that was better, and the one we get now isn't as good. But that's okay. I haven't tried the old one, so the one we have now is pretty damn good to me.
Yeah, that's the only problem with jumping on things. It's sometimes it's like, why?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to trying the Warlock and the, like I said a couple weeks ago, the GLB Pumpkin Wound, if I can actually get one this year, or maybe two. Because I've only ever tried one pumpkin porter in the past, and it was one of the best beers I've ever had in my life. And it was from a brewery that otherwise has completely shitty beers. So
Which brewery was that?
that was the Grand Canyon Brewing Company, and I was on my way to Vegas, so I stopped by there. I picked up a 12-pack of their regular beers, which I think was a wheat, an IPA, an amber, and something else, probably a Pilsner. I have never had worse beer in my life. Like, this beer was, luckily I was on my way to Vegas, so it was basically chugging beer right before I went onto the strip to drink something better, but it was terrible. But then all of a sudden I had their pumpkin porter, and it was absolutely incredible. Like, I don't know how the same brewery created these different kinds of beers.
Yeah, I want to get my hands on the Nickelbrook Pumpkin Porter, which apparently sold out in 2 days, but they're bottling more, so hopefully I can still get some. And then, yeah, that Pumpkin Wound sounds amazing too. Just knowing that brewery, like knowing GLB, it's probably great.
Yeah. Well,
But GLB's regular pumpkin ale just isn't it for me.
No, unfortunately, their regular pumpkin ale and their Saison du Pomp, neither one of them are terribly impressive to me. The Pumpkin Wound, every time they release it, maybe this year they'll make a bigger batch, but every time they release it, it sells out within the day. So unless you can pretty much get to the brewery right away, it's not going to be there. And last year, unfortunately, I missed the announcement on Twitter and didn't get it. But I'll have to see if I'm actually a couple weeks going up to St. Catharines. So I'll have to see if I can swing by Nickelbrook if they have any of that pumpkin porter, maybe 3 bottles at that point.
Yeah, the Pissed Off Pete's Pumpkin Porter.
I'll try if they have any more. Do you know if they have any of that whiny bastard still in? I know it's.
Last time I talked to John, he still had some bottles of it.
Okay, I'll pick one of those up because I hear it's pretty good, even though I don't like spending $20 a bottle on beer. But.
Oh. There's the dogs freaking out. What's up?
Guess what?
What?
James showed up at his fucking door. He's like, I have to bail. I'm like, why is that? He's like, is something wrong with Innie? He's like, no, nothing's wrong with Innie. Something's wrong with Karina. I gotta go. And he told me, right after, he's like, I texted him when I got home at like 7:20. When I got home, I said, I'm gonna come and get you. Are you up for it? He's like, yeah, for sure. Come. I'm like, well, 40 minutes. I gotta get Alicia and then go. We showed up at his house.
He's on mute. What is he doing?
He's chatting. I think his buddies just came over.
Saying bad things.
Probably.
It's farting.
He doesn't like Frenchmen or anyone named Greg.
He's reading something. Beer porn.
Or just regular porn. That stuff still exists.
He's like nodding. Nope, trying to figure out what he's saying. I can't.
I can't lip read, sadly.
There's your hipster beer. I'm gonna crack one open.
Beer, dinner jacket, yeah. Like that. It's so long. It's been a while since I had that. I have to go back to see if I know I did enjoy that one.
Vanilla beer.
Very nice.
Oh, that smells good.
No, just that you're sexist.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Sorry, guys, we were discussing something that couldn't be live.
Oh, that's all right. We already know about your gonorrhea.
You guys should see this shirt. Look at this shirt.
Wow.
So much purple.
I didn't go. That's a cup from the beer fest in St. Catharines.
You didn't go.
No, I didn't go.
No, I didn't see you there, so you wouldn't have went.
Oh, you went, eh?
Thank you.
What?
These probably have to drink quick.
Where's your special words?
I said thank you.
No, that's okay. I just brought to show you how plastic it is.
Ah,
I bet that's
Oktoberfest.
amazing.
I tried that one last week. I think you wanted to try it.
And
Was it any good?
I liked it. I think it's actually probably one of the better Creemore products. I used to love their Keller beer, though I find lately it's not quite so good. But,
Go grab yourself a glass.
Oh! No, seriously, it's kind of hard there. She's gonna grab him a glass.
where's the vodka when you need it? Why didn't I bring any when you need it today?
Your biggest fan was here
Shop
earlier,
yourself
and
open today, though, did you?
then he
Oh, yeah?
left.
you know you got the Pollock there when she goes for the vodka first.
Just a long day.
Glass?
7:30 to 7.
I can try.
On your
It's
feet.
not
I brought-
rude.
I brought
Lucky
some
little
stuff that
fuckers.
you would actually drink, though.
I'm gonna
Actually.
fucking pig hook.
Yeah. There's stuff I brought that you probably had, Chad. I just brought it just in
It's
case.
bullshit.
Like, did you guys try the? You guys probably tried the Mad Jack.
No, that'd probably be.
Pardon me?
Did you guys try the Mad Jack?
No.
Oh, okay. That's fun.
Oh, I'm very happy to try this with you guys tonight.
It's PC. What do they call it? And probably had this.
Oh wait, yeah, Mad Jack. I thought it was the other
Oh,
Mad Jack.
never
I
mind.
thought it was the Sammy Adams.
Never mind. Pops and bullets, yeah. And the grapefruit. Schafferhofer. Oh, yeah. They're just new to my beer store. And then this, I don't know if I brought this before or not. Sangria. Okay, that's one new thing. That's a plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, sangria, beer-based sangria.
Well, malt liquor-based sangria.
Yeah, malt liquor. Yeah. That's what
I
I
wish
mean.
my guests would bring me nice gifts like that. My guests don't bring me shit.
What's that?
I wish my guests would bring me nice gifts like that. Like at the most, I might get a bottle of wine, which I'll never drink from my guests, if they bring that, which they usually don't.
Yeah.
How about Snyder's pretzels?
Lots of bottles of wine show up here for some reason.
Yeah. They
Lots.
just end up getting regifted. I give them back to people because I don't drink that. I barely ever drink wine.
That's the way to go.
Okay, so I'm gonna put these in the fridge.
Chad,
then.
pass me that Buffalo beer thing. Oh, okay.
Pour something in my cup that you can
So
don't
look
like. Cool stout, it's 8.8.
Community beer. Is that like a growler?
These are really delicious.
Half growler.
I gotta pour something into my wife's cup that I think she would like.
Beer.
Imperial Stout.
There's a lot of breweries there.
I got something to put in your cup.
Wonders why you don't
Have you ever had anything by Red Hook?
with them and he
Yes.
acts like this.
This your cup?
Yes. She's a stone hammer. Oh.
Don't feed the lines to me.
So, so I was in Buffalo today for a work thing, and I was at City Hall in Buffalo, which is gorgeous. It's absolutely stunning. And I met a city planner there who was giving us a tour and like bringing us on the observation deck and talking about like giving us basically the Buffalo. And I asked him when we got down to the end of the room, we were just milling about going to see where we left to go to the next spot.
No, I'm good. I'm just tired.
I was like, oh, so you live in Buffalo? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, she's like, I'm excited. It's Buffalo Beer Week this week, so I'm gonna go do a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, oh. He's like, we used to have a couple big breweries. Now we just have craft breweries growing up everywhere. And I was like, well, what's your favorite one then? Where can I go to get your beer then? If you were into the Buffalo craft beer scene. He was like, go to community beer workshop like that. So I went there, and this guy was outside smoking, and he's like, hey! I'm like, hey! He's like, what did he say? What did he say? Are you coming here?
No, I'm just looking.
I was like, yeah. He's like, are you here? And I'm like, I'm here for beer. And he's like, we're in the right place. And then we
What
went
was he
inside.
smoking, Vanessa?
They had like 10 taps with 10 different beers on them. From like
Oh, Bailey, what are you doing?
IPAs. There's a regular IPA, wheat ales, dark ales, a porter. That's a cold brew with the.
Here's one for you, Alicia. Brewed in Buffalo release party, Friday, September 26th. Largest Polish beer and liquor selection anywhere.
Really interesting.
I learned today that there's a huge Polish population in Buffalo,
I'm not surprised.
and that there's the old main. It's like a 13-story like Art Deco Gothic sort of building, and it's the main train station. It was the terminal station, and the terminal station is now like abandoned, but a volunteer group bought it for $1. It's gorgeous. $1. And then they hold it's best known for Dingus.
Schmingus Dingus.
Dingus, okay. So
Schmingus
telling you,
Dingus.
it's like,
Okay, that's a
you
day.
go there and it's like Easter Monday and it's a big Polish thing, and then like if you like a girl, you
Dingus
shoot
water on her.
You shoot her with water.
Yeah.
And if you like a guy, you whack him with a pussy willow.
Yeah,
And like,
exactly. No, that's exactly
so
it.
if you like a girl, you squirt her with stuff. And if you're a girl who likes a boy, you beat him with your pussy willow. I'm like, okay, the Polish are super phallic.
No,
What
it's
the hell?
My mom has a little wooden picture made out of different pieces of wood put together of a guy, like, you know, in traditional Polish garb, and a girl with her little outfit on.
I'll beat
And
you
he's
with
got
my pussy willow.
a wooden pail of water splashing on her. It's Schmingus Dingus, man. That's what you do.
Fox.
That's what
Yeah,
you do.
I hear
on the radio,
the
Dingus
Polish
Day. Now
are
I'm like, what the hell is Dingus Day?
It's kind of like
Oh, we have
April
to be
Fool's
people
Day
pussy
for,
willow
I guess,
day.
you know, just kind of spring fever.
So anyway, that was interesting. But I went
Teenagers
to this,
having kids, you know, comes from that
I went to
day.
this beer place, and they were really nice. They would let me try all the beers. The taps are on this big long thing, and then they've got one of those white. I want to say those old school white, either like grade school sinks or like farmhouse sinks that are like
I know it's a lot.
two
Gonna take advantage of you later.
and then a big sink, and so all of the beers are drained to the sink. It's really neat.
That's cool.
No.
But they were
Did you go to
busy,
Brimstone?
like really busy.
Yes.
Crazy man.
I was talking about the
working there,
bitchy
or was it just a
witch.
crazy man?
Yeah, they didn't have bottles of it.
Oh yeah, he came inside.
I didn't understand. No, I tried it on tap.
I only had like a fucking 10-minute break, and I was like talking on the
Okay.
microphone, and I usually double check to
hilarious.
see if everything came out in normal language. I didn't, and just sent it to you.
Aaron, I have somebody here that told me they're filling more bottles up.
They're bottling on one.
Shut up. They're gonna buy them before you get there.
Oh.
I can hear you.
Lie. It's all a lie.
I can't tell.